All right, welcome back to the Barley Lads. We're doing something a little different tonight, or today, depending on when we release this. But this is going to be our Oktoberfest tasting. At this point, hopefully you have seen all of our shorts. For better or worse, I did a review on each one of these, about 15 to 30 seconds long.
What's a short?
A YouTube short is like Instagram, but not.
So not the type of skid marks in it?
No skid marks. Not until after we finish these beers. All right, so full disclosure, the first one that we're gonna start with is the Oktoberfest from Great Lakes. So go ahead and give me that front one.
All right.
So full disclosure, this is from last year. We bought all of these other ones fresh, and I just happened to find that one in my basement. So it is a year old. And yeah, so it's probably gonna taste a little off, but here we go.
I get a lot of citrus in that one.
Yeah, very citrusy, almost like it has a lemon or something else. It certainly shouldn't have that in there.
Supposed to taste like that?
Nope, definitely not. Definitely not. So I apologize, Great Lakes. I love you. My wife loves you. We've been to your brew pub half dozen times over the years, and it's very far from us. So we really enjoy doing that when we come to Cleveland. So I apologize for not doing a good review of this Oktoberfest, but we have enjoyed it in the past. In fact, I bought 6 cases of it for our wedding because we were married on September 30th a few years ago. And
I think I drank one of those cases at your wedding.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, we love Great Lakes Oktoberfest. This is a poor showing, but that's my own fault. So we're gonna move on.
Moving on. All right.
I'm not even gonna finish that.
So
this is Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer. So Hofbrau is one of the 6 Munich breweries that is officially allowed to sell within the fairgrounds or festival grounds of Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany, which is kind of why we're doing this. It's usually a 16 to 18 day festival, and Hofbrau, like I said, is one of the 6. If you ever see any other beer out that doesn't say from Munich, if it says Oktoberfest, a lot of these American ones do. Those aren't officially Oktoberfest, at least under the German beer purity law. Americans, we can kind of call our beer whatever we want. So
beer.
At
least there's more than 3 names these days.
Yes, true. It's not just Bud Light, and yeah, good call. So we're gonna compare it to the only other beer that we've had.
So Hofbrau, this is the same brewery like Hofbrau House, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people that might be watching have probably been to a Hofbrau House. There's one in Cincy, Columbus, Cleveland, outside of here. I think there's one in Pittsburgh, New York, Las Vegas, Orlando. There's quite a few. And those are places that actually brew their own beer. So everything that they brew on site is what you drink. This bottled beer, anytime you get Hofbrau beer, is being imported from Hofbrau Brewery in Germany.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to the restaurants, this tastes a lot like what you would expect to come out of the Hofbrau.
Yeah,
it's a little, you can tell the Oktoberfest flavor, but it's still got that smooth.
It's good beer, yeah.
I don't know how to say it, like crisp flavor.
Crisp. It would be good after mowing the lawn this month, but it lacks the maltiness that I expect, that almost like a roasted quality that I get from other Festbiers, Marzens. So
I find it interesting you said mowing the lawn, because usually I expect to drink this when I'm raking leaves.
That's true. All right. So the next one is actually another, the Paulaner. This is another Oktoberfest Marzen. So the Marzen name is actually German for March. So back in the day, back before you could do a lot of brewing during the summer because you didn't have heat control or air, anything like that. A lot of beers would be brewed throughout the month of March because it was cooler, and then they would take those casks because that's what they used to store their beers, and they would put them in caves and cellars and things like that, and they would age them throughout the summer, and that's what you would drink throughout the winter. Oktoberfest started in the 1800s, and I can't remember who, but I want to say a crown prince of Germany or something like that, under the Austro-Hungarian, I would assume, regime. They started the festival, so they asked for kegs and kegs of beer, and it happened to all be Marzen, and that was the beginnings of Oktoberfest.
So this is they don't brew that now in March, right? They don't brew it in.
Well, you could. Yeah, I doubt that they're aging these beers for 6 months anymore. You can make these. I've done homebrew Oktoberfest. These are probably being made in July, August to be released now throughout. Well, we're recording this in early September, so yeah.
Let's give it a try.
So this is what I'm more expecting. Richer, maltier.
Yeah, very much maltier. As far as like crispness goes, not really as crisp as the Hofbrau. This is
I would
more
agree.
rich flavor.
Tastes more like fall.
Like what you would expect for an Oktoberfest.
Yeah, tastes like October.
Yes.
Tastes like rich plaid.
Rich plaid.
All right. Columbus Brewing. This is, Columbus, Ohio. This is where Bryce and I live. And we have drank some good Columbus Brewing beers over the year. My favorite of the Columbus Brewing, and one of the most popular, is the Bodhi. I can never remember how to pronounce it, but it's their double IPA. Fantastic. It's like 7 or 8%. It's pretty strong, but very hoppy, but not like that. I don't like super floral or like evergreen hoppiness. It's more citrusy. It's good stuff. So this is their Festbier, which it also says Oktoberfest style lager. Again, all of these are going to be lagers, but this is going to be their Marzen style beer.
Before we talk about the flavor, though, why do they call it a Festbier?
So, similar to just, Oktoberfest, beyond those 6 breweries in Munich that can call their beers Oktoberfest, the other breweries can get away with, I'm not going to say get away with, they're allowed to call their Marzen style beers Festbiers. So it can still be tied in somewhat to the Oktoberfest trend because it is such a huge event throughout Germany. You're going to find a lot more breweries wanting to kind of cash in on that. And so Festbier is just another name for Marzen Oktoberfest. They're all kind of synonymous with one another, but depending on where it's being brewed and who's brewing it, that you might get a different name for a very similar product.
So Columbus is kind of showing respect to that.
Yeah, I would say that. And they're also calling it an Oktoberfest style lager. So again, they're saying this is like that, but we are not an Oktoberfest beer.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're on record as saying that, but yeah, I would probably agree with that. That's probably why they've chosen to do that, to show respect to the Munich brewers.
It's very good.
Yep, it's up there for me.
Columbus.
I'm trying to keep these in order.
We actually just visited there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, downtown?
Yep. Went to their tap room.
Good stuff. I've been there. It's been a long time though. So, all right. So we're going to move on. This is Franz. It's here to pump you up. You don't get that, do you?
Pump you up. Like Arnold?
No, SNL. It's an SNL skit.
Oh.
Showing my age, even though you're only a year younger than me. All right, so this is Franz. Again, this is going to be coming out of Rheingeist down in Cincinnati. Rheingeist has been around for not quite 10 years. They are so Rheingeist typically gives their beers a name, whether they don't just call it a lager or a Marzen or an Oktoberfest. Like they have a lager, it's called the Cheetah.
Okay.
Don't know why, but they typically have a weird or interesting name for their beers. So
this is what they'll go. That's just what they call it. Like,
yeah. So it's just the Franz. It does sound very German. So
Yeah.
Hans and Franz. Yeah. So sorry. Anyway, so Rheingeist. They also make a line of hard ciders that are pretty popular. I think they call it Cidergeist, don't they? That sound familiar?
Cidergeist? I don't know.
Len, you got anything? No.
Cidergeist.
It exists. I know it does, but it's pretty popular. Or I should say, for a microbrewery out of Ohio, it's popular. All right. Thoughts?
It's good.
Yeah.
I like
a little
the
sweeter.
I like the Columbus Brewing. It was a little more richer.
I would agree. A little maltier.
This feels like it's more hoppy. Definitely sweeter. So I can't really. I mean, I say I like the Columbus more, but honestly, I like them all except for.
Sorry, Great Lakes. We effed up.
Except for when you keep your beer in the basement.
Yeah, don't do that for a year. Don't keep your beer in the basement for a year unless you just don't care. But yeah, it's a little off. So our next canned one,
Brauraiser, right?
Are you keeping those in order so we can come back to them just if we need to? F it. All right, so
supposed to keep them in order.
yeah, if we wanted to come back to them. All right, so this is the platform Brauraiser Oktoberfest Marzen style lager. It kind of looks a lot like the Rheingeist can with the checkered flag. I believe that is related to Munich or Bavaria, that region of Germany. I tend to see that for a lot of German-style festivals, things like that. Not quite on there. Oh, no, it is here on the Warsteiner, though. Yeah, so I think it has something to do with that. Yeah. Platform, been around for a few years. This is out of Cleveland. They have a few different tap rooms now. I've had a few of their beers.
Yeah, they have good stuff. Trying to think, I think we've been to Platform. I think Lynn and I have been to Platform.
I don't know. I've been to Cleveland a few times. I've had a few too many beers in Cleveland a few times. But I just want to come back to Great Lakes, guys. If you do see this, you guys make the best pretzels. I'll try and find a new Oktoberfest, and maybe we'll do a reshoot and drink some more. So
Just splice it in there.
yeah, just shove it in there. Ooh. All right, so this for me is sweeter, but also rich and malty. So I think it's kind of in between for me, the Rheingeist and the Festbier.
Yep. I think it's closer. I think it's close to the Paulaner.
Okay.
It's got that little more rich flavor.
Okay.
More so, obviously, than the Hofbrau and even the Columbus and the Franz. I think it's.
Well, yeah. I'm just gonna bring the Hofbrau back into frame. I mean, just the color
Look at
difference. I mean, you're gonna get that from roasting your malts. This is clearly like a light roast. Excuse me, as opposed to Guinness, where you're getting that dark ruby red. Like they call it a black pint, but it's really dark ruby red.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are gonna be your roasted malts. You're getting a lot more color, I would assume, if there is any malts in this. That's particularly your color.
You can assume that all of these have different levels of roast to their malt.
Well, there's definitely some similarities here, but it probably, I would assume, or they just have different percentages.
Okay.
Versus roasted or unroasted or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So I had a few comments about this one. This next one's Warsteiner. So they are calling this Oktoberfest. It is a German brewery, but they are not based in Munich. So they are selling this as Oktoberfest in the US. So they are brewing this as an Oktoberfest, labeling it as an Oktoberfest, and selling it here in the US. I didn't see this on their German website, so I would assume that they're either selling a Marzen with a different label, or they're just not selling it to their market.
Okay.
Not really sure. But it is a German beer, it's calling it Oktoberfest, but again, just in the US. So I feel like they're just kind of
Relabeling something.
potentially their Marzen as a, and then selling it to the American market because it says Oktoberfest, it's a German beer, and hey, we're dumb enough to buy it, so here we are.
Oktoberfest. Yeah. We drink Oktoberfest in September. Not October.
Do you know when Oktoberfest is?
No.
Okay, so Oktoberfest traditionally starts in like mid-September and
Okay.
ends usually sometime in the first week of October. So it
Okay.
is Oktoberfest, but it starts, 2 to 2.5 weeks before it actually gets into October. So
I got you.
that's why most Oktoberfests are actually in September, at least here in the U.S.
Okay.
Plus, you get better weather. More
So
people are
just
gonna.
kind of avoiding the colder weather.
Yeah,
Makes
you
sense.
drink outside in festival tents, and listen to polka music, swim. No.
What? I
No.
don't know that either.
Megan gets it. So we go every year to the Oktoberfest in Columbus, and there's this band out of Michigan, but they play polka music, and one of the songs is about I don't know. It's ridiculous, but it's fun to dance to. They do the chicken dance because that's a traditional polka.
Oh, that's a polka song?
I wouldn't like to say traditional, but yeah,
Oh,
chicken dance.
Gotcha.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think of the Warsteiner?
it's good.
Yeah, not as
Oh,
sweet.
Smoother.
I'm not gonna say it's bitter, but it has a hint more bitterness, so maybe slightly higher hops.
I would compare that more to this one.
Hofbrau or Paulaner?
Sorry, Hofbrau.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's definitely darker,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But it's, I think it's kind of like a little more mellow.
Yeah. All right. Last, but certainly not least. Whoops, I did that wrong. I already drank out of some of these, so I'm pulling from the right glass. All right, so this is the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. Sam Adams has been around for 35, almost 40 years. One of the first microbreweries in the country. I don't really know if you can call it that anymore. It's a pretty major national brand at this point. But I believe it's still owned by Jim Koch. I still believe it's independently owned and operated, as opposed to.
I think you're right. I think I read about that this summer.
Yeah, yes, interesting guy. He would drink a yeast mixture before he would go out, and apparently it would help break down the enzymes in his beer, and so he could drink more and not get drunk. I think that it's probably not true. It's probably an old wives' tale. He is a master brewer, but
We don't recommend doing that.
don't do
that.
So now you can just tell from the color from the other beers if you had seen them in the video. Certainly, Bryce can see that this is a darker beer than all the rest.
Yes.
So.
You can tell it's darker.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's the heaviest flavor of all of them.
Yeah. Not overly sweet, but still rich with that malt flavor,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Do you know, like, is that main way they control that with just roasting? Or do they control that with
Well,
grains they use? And
it's certainly part of the grains because you do get different colors from different grains because there's a lot of wheated Bud Light uses rice.
Yep.
That's why it's so. I mean, this is closer to Bud. Now, I will say this has more color than. But this is the Hofbrau, by the way. It has more color than a Bud Light, but it does have that much lighter see-through color. I will say now this is not like a Hefeweizen where you're going to have some opaqueness. You can see through this fairly well. It's going to be filtered. Some German styles are unfiltered or certainly less filtered. But this is going to be a pretty clean, crisp beer across all these different beers. They're going to be crisp and clean. So,
yeah.
So, what do you think? What are you leaning? We're not going to talk about Great Lakes. Sorry, Great Lakes. What was your least favorite?
Oh, my least favorite. Okay. If I have to pick my least favorite, they're all good, okay, but I would say the Franz is my least favorite.
The Franz is your least favorite?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do this in order. Yeah, so honestly, I think the Hofbrau is my least favorite. It's pretty bland and boring.
Okay.
And then this is Paulaner. I still like that one a lot. The Festbier, though, again, a little darker than some of the others, and that's probably why I like it. Oh, you like it too.
Yeah,
a little maltier.
From Columbus.
Yeah.
I like that one.
And then this is the Franz. So you did or did not like it? The Franz.
No, I liked it. I liked them all, but out of
least favorite. Sorry.
Out of these that I've tried, I think that would hit the bottom of the list. Honestly, it's hard to put one at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh no, I got these mixed up. This is the Festbier. Yeah, I like this one better.
So which is your least favorite?
Definitely the Hofbrau.
Hofbrau, you said that.
Yeah.
So which is your favorite?
Oktoberfest. Sorry, that's confusing. Oktoberfest with the C. They're all laughing at me at this point. That was really dumb. Yeah, Oktoberfest with the C coming here over in Boston from Sam Adams. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. Sam Adams is my favorite.
Rich, malty. If you hear that in the background, there are bats behind that wall in the chimney. We have bats. Yeah. Thankfully, there's a board covering it. Ignoring that part, though, yeah, I would have to say that the Sam Adams Oktoberfest was good. All the Oktoberfest is good, which is why I said that. It wasn't because I was confused or anything. 100% because I like all the Oktoberfest.
I really do. I like them all.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's not really fair. It's not really a fair question for me to pick
your favorite.
My favorite, or
I think
least favorite.
I think it's still fair. But would you drink all of them again?
Yeah, I'd absolutely drink every one of them again.
Would you buy a 6-pack of every single one of them?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. This is your kegger.
Yeah. But I have a lot of friends for that kegger.
Excuse me. Now, I will say, I have done a lot of Oktoberfest drinking. That sounds wrong, but I've tried a lot of Oktoberfest over the years, and generally, I choose Great Lakes 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
When I'm making a 6-pack, I will buy a bunch of stuff like this, but if I'm buying a 6-pack or a 12-pack or a case, it's going to be Great Lakes.
Yeah, I feel like we should have gotten...
Should have got a fresh one. We even talked about going earlier this morning.
Because I feel like if you stack this up against them, this might be the number one.
Great Lakes just makes good beers.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. So. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here because we've talked long enough. This has been 7.5 Oktoberfests. We will try and hopefully remedy the Great Lakes part of this. But thank you again for watching. Anything from you, Bryce?
If you if you like our content, please like, subscribe, and obviously give us some feedback, comments, emails. the birds are giving us, or bats are giving us feedback now. Not for sure, but yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Instead of cheers, we're gonna the Prost. The old German on.
Prost.
Prost.